DestinyLove TV. Come on in where the table is spread. We got plenty of healing, inspiration. Does that inspire you? And lots of love, boo. Want some? I know you do. Come get some. It's enough room for everybody. And men, this is for you too. Don't you want to know more about your boo? Where you headed? Need a roadmap? Let's go. So let me tell you a little bit about my channel and why I even have a channel. It wasn't the molestation or the rapes or the changes that I had to go through to be made whole, nor was it when I had a husband who had a full family across town. No, it's not because I've been beaten with a broken jaw and a black eye by a man. Well, I stabbed him and sent him to the emergency room, but that's not the reason for this channel. I have been on the stage with the most celebrated people in the world many times. And one of those times I came home and I cut my wrist. But that was my first attempt at suicide. Yeah, there were more, but that's not why. I have this channel because I recognize that there's a voice that we all have that if we hear it, then we'll know where to go and where we belong and who we are. But I couldn't hear that voice anymore. That voice that showed me who Destiny Love is. So that voice who showed me where I belong. I couldn't quite put it into words, but I can now. When that voice of destiny is calling, it's like a silent call of submission. It's a beckoning for me to surrender. It's a soft, gentle breeze flowing through my mind with ease, knowing that because I heard it, everything was going to be all right. It's the voice that I longed to hear for the rest of my life. But when it was silence, the pain was difficult to maintain, an incessant echo in my brain, an echo that ran deeper than I could explain. To be detached from it was like being detached from life itself. It brought me safety like none else, more precious than gold refined in the fire, creating a burning desire for me to hear more and more. I was addicted to the tone. It put me in the zone. It's the material for my book. It's the wound of my art. It's the canvas for my heart to paint a picture of what is real and true. It is the glue that I didn't even know existed until it persisted, and it turned my winter into spring, and it made me sing again. It began with soft-spoken, spectacular ambiguity, evolving into hope deferred. But it's an unshakable, immovable, a penetrating connection, an impact that does not lack. But in fact, it's my choice to hear that voice. You have to hear and know for yourself when destiny is calling. You know, that thing inside of you that nobody understands but you. You're working on a job that you hate. You're in a relationship you know you don't belong in. You have this big empire. You got the wife, the dog, the car, the money, the ring, all of that. But you're miserable. You're not happy because you're stuck somewhere. Everybody's stuck somewhere. So I wrote this book for you and anybody bold enough to look inside themselves to see what's been there all along. You ready? So I'm sitting here with a few of my favorite ladies, and we're going to talk to you for a few minutes about our journeys, where we're headed, and where we come from. It's not always easy to get unstuck. It's not always easy to let go. But letting go, though it's not an easy thing to do, to thine own self be true.
And the part about I have someone for you to meet, well, that was right on point. Because I've been seeking God's face about God. You know, I want to find love again. Who you going to send into my life? And then to hear God speak, I have someone for you to meet. That was real touching. And all I can say about that is, God, I'm ready. Where you at? Hey! I'm ready.
It says, so don't be afraid and have no fear. That has been my biggest issue throughout my entire life, fear. You know, just being afraid of rejection, being afraid of being alone, being afraid of not being good enough. Just me as an individual, as myself, not being good enough. You know, is this person going to like me? Is this person going to accept me for who I am? Do I have to be like them? And, you know, trial and error has taught me, especially letting go has taught me that I don't have to do that. I had a fear of losing my son, and I'm glad you actually brought that up, because it did make me go deep with of why I truly felt that way. I felt like because I failed him as a mother, because things didn't work out between me and his father.
At the time of receiving this poem and reading the poem, the judge's signature was still wet on my paperwork. So, you know, to know that God is saying soon, this is coming for you soon. It's like, well, first of all, my soon ain't your soon. So what are we talking about? But it stirred something up in me of like, wow, okay, things are, you know, gonna happen fast then, because the ink is still wet. And that's really what God has been doing. He's been speeding up time for me fast enough to recreate and to have me redevelop and restore myself, but slow enough to where I could see exactly what God has been doing every step of the way. And so me being able to, I don't know, I keep going back to that rhythm, you know, a gazelle, and just the grace. I'm a dancer. So that was also something that really described who I am. And now being able to go back to that, my foundation of dance as it pertains to life now, and just finding a new rhythm. So for me, this is just, yo, you're not clumsy anymore like a little deer, you know, newborn. You're graceful. And as long as you continue to be yourself, then that's really all that matters.
Miss Bonita and I have talked about a lot of things, and I've always said that I've just had some challenges with God's timing. And so the first line, just like a turtle, you were slow moving. I thought that spoke to our conversations that we've had about just me waiting on God and just being impatient. But it says, now you're grooving, you know, you're finding your rhythm. And I think that my mindset is changing. I'm looking at things a little bit differently, particularly in the areas of love. I'm just learning to let my hair down a little bit, to be free, and to be open, and to let love in, because I was so closed for a very long time. And so when she says that, she said, he knows you can't be beat, so reel him in with your charm. It's me being vulnerable and opening up. And I think that I'm now ready to open up and to someone new, and I'm ready for love. And I appreciate that this was a prophetic word for me, because I am ready for my husband, and I'm ready to get married, to have kids. I'm ready for it all. And so I'm ready for that new beginning for myself. So yeah, I'm ready to walk in destiny.
For those who tried to commit suicide like me, those who've had cheating husbands and lying wives and jobs that fire you because of your color, because of your race, because of your sexuality, let's get unstuck and learn how to live an abundant life like God intended for us to live all along. Now, you may not serve God. You may not know him, but let me introduce you to my God. He's love. Simply put, God is love. And I'm going to show you God. This is DestinyLove TV. This is a place for healing. Sometimes it's going to hurt to heal. You know, like when you go to the dentist and get that wisdom tooth pulled, ooh, that socket, it hurts, but that thing is gone. And once it's done, it's done. Or when you break your arm or your leg, you have a cast on. Might even have to get it reset. Ooh. But once it's healed, it's healed. It might hurt. And I'm going to inspire you to look inside yourself. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, where you've been. God is love. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to inspire you to move forward in your life, to do those things that you know you've been called to do those things that you've always dreamed of doing. Why are you so mean? Did somebody hurt you? And you hold on to everything and everybody that comes along, whether it's good for you or not, because you were abandoned. That means you're stuck somewhere you don't belong. Hold on. We're going to learn how to let it go. Get rid of all that stuff in your bag. I'm going to say some stuff that might hurt your feelings. But you want easy, or you want to get from where you are to where you want to be? This is Destiny Love. We'll see you next time.